Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Roni, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week in the female hip hop world, I think has been a little on the explosive side. There, if you don't know, has been I guess you would call it to me, it's more than a rap beef. It is true colors and feelings coming out between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. There has been cyberbullying, intimidation, victim shaming, a series of social media posts, and even ending up with a diss track. And my question is, how far is too far? Is making fun of someone's deceased parent appropriate behavior on any level? What about making fun of someone because they got shot in the foot? The court of law said that this man did this, and there was witnesses to this. So I'm just wondering about that. You know, the victim shaming part is calling someone out their name the way the B word flew around so much over one line in a verse. I mean, to me, it leads me to believe that it's something deeper. And I've looked at some other commentary on the event, and many people are saying that they think there is something more than the initial response from Nicki. I've heard a lot of commentary that kind of agree with the way that I'm thinking that this was cyberbullying. So I got some notes that I took that I want to read. According to the Social Media Victims Law Center, cyberbullying is a serious issue on its own, and one that has been increasingly more prevalent over the past few years. And the cyberbullying can also have adverse effects on those who witness it happening to someone else. So, of course, the research in me, I decided to ask a few people how they felt about the situation. And I guess people drew a line in the sand when she was speaking about the deceased parent, because you're intentionally inflicting pain or trying to inflict pain on somebody. And I just don't know how that's going to work in the karmic world, But many people didn't agree with other things that they didn't agree with, but that was like the main thing. And the group that I asked was a group of younger adults, different ones. And that was the sticking point for them, that at the age that the person is, and it doesn't matter who it is, at some point you just don't go below the belt like that. So in rap beefs and disses, yeah, people say different things, but is it like stated factly, or are you trying to inflict pain? So that's just something to think about. Now, on the commentary, I don't know, I've had this conversation over and over and over again with different people, and it does not matter the color. It's like all the same thing. It's like people who are not from the South think that people from the South are intellectually challenged, and that's not the truth. You cannot judge a person by their accent. So that was another thing that people took offense to. I talked to some people, and how did they feel about the reference to Bun B and Pimp C, and a lot of reference to Pimp C in one of the social media posts. And I remember I was at the store one time. We was waiting in line. I was talking to a older white lady, and I was like, you know, because of the way we talk, people think that people from the city think that people from the country is slow and dumb. And she was like, yeah. And so she was telling me about her experience with that. And I remember Cardi B telling everybody, don't listen to this country man. So what do a country man mean? And when Nicki was using the country accent and was talking about Pimp C and Bun B and who you want to be, Pimp C or Bun B. And that was like super disrespectful, because people from the South, you don't mess with the underground kings. And so I was watching a reaction video, and there was one guy, he was like, no, Nicki, no. Should I cut this out? No. And it was like so many people saying it. But I watched Blue Nola Tarot, and she's out of Louisiana. And she was saying that at this point, that in her opinion, that Nicki don't care. She feels that she's right. And the attitude that she's portraying does seem that way. Because even after you have offended a whole region of people, she was tweeting about numbers. I just can't see how anybody could be comfortable speaking on UGK that way. But Megan did come out with a chopped and screwed version. Now, I'm a big chopped and screwed fan. I wish it was screwed out a little bit more. It seemed like the beat was chopped up, but she could have screwed up she could have screwed it out a little bit more. But I need artists to understand that music, when you're making money off your music, is a business, and that's why it's called the music business. And when artists collaborate together, that's what they're doing. They're deciding to make money together. If it builds a friendship, fine. But if it don't, it was business. So it shouldn't even be a concern when the artist moves on to collaborate with the next person. I don't think that it's healthy for people to try to hold people in a box like that. For me, with the maliciousness that was, I would say, within some of these posts, if Megan is broke and decides to file a lawsuit, I don't think she'll be broke for long, because not only were there's social media posts and you have this major influence and everything, it was also put in a song. So it cannot be anymore that it was the heat of the moment and I say things when I'm upset and then I go back later and I think about it and da-da-da-da. It can't be that, because even after you said these things over a period of time, then it was put on a record. And I feel like once you recorded it, I mean, even after the post, I mean, the cyberbullying is like very apparent, in my opinion. But then people was talking about this alter ego and the whispering on the song. And I was, like I said, watched a lot of reaction videos, and they was like, she just quit rapping and she went to whispering, threatening, whispering, all of this. And I was like, okay. And people was talking about the alter egos and everything. So I was like, I remember watching One Life to Live when I was young. And there was a character on there. Her name was Vicky. And Vicky had dissociative personality disorder, where she had these different personalities. And one was I think it was a little girl. One was a old man. One was a very mean killer. So watching those types of things, I guess at a young age, if you was inquisitive, would, I guess, make you well-rounded when it comes to things like that, and you would notice things that wasn't of what we would consider the norm. But of course, I researched and I saw something else about alter egos, so I wanted to read you a little bit about that. According to verywellhealth.com, there are a variety of triggers that cause switching between alter egos in people with dissociative identity disorder. Now, I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, but I was just reading some of the comments from, I would say, spectators, because I'm not going to say fans or non-fans. But according to verywellhealth.com, stress, memory, strong emotional senses, alcohol and substance use, special events, or specific situations can all be triggers for people with dissociative identity disorder. So, I think sometimes people have to quit being so mean and look for people's special way of saying that they need some type of intervention. And I know I read a lot of comments of people saying somebody take Nicki's mic, and somebody, I mean, they were saying different things like that. And some of the comments were, I would say, truthful. Some of the reviews were truthful. I agree with a lot of the commentary. I even watched some of the commentary on how people felt about the way she was coming at Megan off of that one line. But I'm going to say this. Throughout hip-hop and rap, there always be some rap beefs. And some of them be for real. And we can see the state of how things are going now with all the murders and everything that has been happening in the hip-hop world. And I hate to see women beef. I really do, especially in hip-hop. I don't like that. I tell the young girls all the time, no, you grow up, real women don't fight. That's just not what we do. And like I said, I hate this rap beef, and I hate hitting below the belt. But as an artist, you have to remember that this is a business, and you are to, at your very best, try to stay professional. And when you handle your business, knowing that you have to be a professional, try to do that at all times, because this letting personal things, as they said, put it in the music, but trying to taunt somebody, I think would possibly get you into a legal situation. And I want independent artists to take from this. Yeah, you can get some things off your chest, but know when too far is too far. As being a professional is not damaging your brand. I'm going to say that and leave you with that today. You can find us on all podcast platforms. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, all those places, Deezer, and you can find us streaming live on, and also the podcast is on YouTube now. But you can also catch the video portion streaming live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And of course, you can buy the Indie Artist Music Hustle and Blonde Intelligence merch at www.blonde-intelligence.com. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media, and on rpentradio.com.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a check, girl.